week, as part of my digital drop-in series, I'm covering the 3 types of stories you can use on Instagram as a small business owner to sell your product or service. One thing to remember is that stories are mainly shown to your followers. So in marketing terms, this is a warm audience because these people already know about you and have already connected with you in some way. The first story that you should post is the most interesting one to your audience. So this is how you sell yourself as an expert in your field. Tell them something that they might not have known and then ask them to interact with you. And the best way of doing this is using story stickers. So use a poll to ask them about their knowledge, or use a sticker where they can ask you anything about a particular topic. So if you're sharing your knowledge, you can say, did you know that already? Would you like to hear more about this topic? And engage with them in that way. You could share an image related to something that's trending or something that has been in the news, and then ask them to share their own. The second type of story is about getting them to know you. Because we buy from people, we don't buy from faceless companies. So this is about showing your quirkiness, showing your personality, and helping them feel like they really know you. So things like this for me, occasionally I talk about how much of a geek I am, and I talk about how I love Harry Potter and Star Wars, and I'll relate the things that I'm doing to that to give people an insight into who I am. I might also share behind the scenes of what I'm doing in my day. I make sure that every story that I have has a purpose. So I don't just put a picture of a coffee I had earlier that day. An example of this is it's the school holidays at the moment, and this week I went out for lunch with my husband during the week. And I made sure that I connected with parents who were in a similar situation by talking about how this is our kid-free week of the holidays and we were enjoying it. I tagged in the restaurant that we went to because it's just opened and it's a small business and I want it to do well. And I also kind of included this thread that goes through my content of my husband not wanting to show his face on my account, and brought in a bit of humour by talking about how frustrated he was about me taking photos. So the post had a point. It wasn't just me sharing a coffee with no context, because your audience will only engage with things that they think are interesting to them. And then the third type of story is your sales story. It doesn't just have to be, here is my offer, here's what I'm selling now. It can be, a new launch or when your product is going to be available. It can be a testimonial from somebody who's really happy with your product. You could take your audience on a walkthrough about your product and why you think it's particularly exciting. Or you could answer some questions about the product that people struggle with and it stops them from buying. It doesn't always have to be sell, sell, sell. But you need to be bringing that sales related content into your stories. It is icky selling, but the more you do it, the more you bring it in, the easier it gets. So I hope that using this series of 3 types of stories regularly on your Instagram account will help you make more sales. Let me know how you get on. And also, don't forget, if you find this interesting, make sure you subscribe to my channel to get more updates on Instagram and hints and tips about how you can use it effectively as a small business owner.